Today we're going to give you an update on progress on our Fueling Our Future program. Exactly 6 months ago today, we announced this new program which will help Iowans in obtaining additional access to higher blends of biofuels through the installation of more blender pumps around the state of Iowa. This effort will help in producing, processing, and profiting locally. The Department of Agriculture, the Department of Transportation, and Iowa State University are all key leaders in this effort, and they will continue to collaborate on this important program. Shortly after the Fueling Our Future program was announced, the Department of Agriculture sought applications for funding under the program. Based on the applications from interested retailers, the Iowa Renewable Fuels Infrastructure Board recently awarded $125,000 to the Farmers Co-op of Mount Ayr and $125,000 to the Inwood Oak Street Station to assist in their efforts to provide E10 and higher blends for Iowans. And I can tell you from my knowledge of ethanol that E30, I said E10 and I meant E30, because E30 is kind of the sweet spot where you get the best mileage. And of course we want to move beyond the 10% ethanol to 15%, and eventually I think 30 would be the sweet spot that we'd like to see. And this is an opportunity for people who have flexible fuel vehicles to be able to show them. We're excited about the program and the progress that's being made, and we want to congratulate these biofuel leaders for their efforts in advancing homegrown Iowa biofuels. At this time, I'm pleased to turn it over to Lieutenant Governor Kim Reynolds to provide more details.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Governor Branstad, and it's great to be back in Iowa. It was a great trade mission. It was a wonderful opportunity to promote Iowa and our tremendous agricultural products, and especially Iowa's brand of safe, reliable, quality products, but also including our strength in producing biofuels. This press conference is an opportunity to showcase the success of the Fueling Our Future program in just 6 months. It's an opportunity also for us to recognize the hard work that was completed by the Iowa Department of Agriculture, the Iowa Department of Transportation, as well as Iowa State University. We also need to thank Iowa's leaders in the biofuel industry, like Darren Shalipia. I think I butchered that by practice. The Creston branch manager from Farmers Co-op Company, who is here with us today. So I should have just stuck with Darren. Thank you. There are 3 reasons why Iowa has been so successful in the biofuels. First, our resilient agricultural industry. Second, our producers' strong work ethic. And third, Iowans choose to support locally produced biofuels for their vehicles. This new program leverages that success and advances it into the future. With the Fueling Our Future program, the existing dollars from the U.S. Department of Transportation are being used to and redirected to further leverage our state dollars in the existing renewable fuels infrastructure program. Iowa State University will work closely on the initiative to review the project, consumer perceptions, and the impact of increased access to higher blends of biofuels. At the Farmers Co-op of Mount Ayr, we're excited that the proposed plan includes a new station site which will offer 5 ethanol options of E10, E15, E30, E50, as well as E85, and it also includes a biodiesel blending dispenser with dyed and clear B5, B10, B15, and B20. Currently, there are no blending pumps for either ethanol or biodiesel in Mount Ayr, and the closest station is about 25 miles away. So we certainly appreciate the Farmers Co-op's leadership in advancing biofuels in Iowa. And the Governor and I are actually going to have an opportunity to visit Mount Ayr and see firsthand where the new proposed site in person. I think about May 1st is when we'll be there. So at this time, I would like to invite Darren to the podium to explain a few more details.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, and good morning. I would like to start by thanking the Iowa Renewable Fuels Infrastructure Board members for awarding Farmers Cooperative Company the Federal Department of Transportation's Fueling Our Future Awards Program grant. We are excited to be in attendance today for the announcement of our new ethanol and biodiesel blending facility at our Mount Airy location. Farmers Cooperative's roots date back to 1920 in Afton, Iowa. The company was formed to help local egg and milk producers get a better price for their products. Over the years, we have grown to be one of the leading feed, agriculture, and farm supply retailers in southwest Iowa. The company is always looking for new and innovative ideas to better serve the people in our local communities. Last year, with the help of a grant from the Iowa Renewable Fuels Infrastructure Program, Farmers Cooperative Company constructed an ethanol blending and biodiesel dispensing facility at our Creston location. This became the first and remains to be the only facility in Union County to offer ethanol blends higher than E10. The overwhelming response that we received in support of the Creston site made us realize that a similar site at our Mount Airy location would serve an area that is also in need of higher ethanol and biodiesel blends. Farmers Cooperative Company is dedicated to its community members, and this project allows a unique opportunity to add greater value to the commodities that our customers produce, while at the same time providing the fuel that they want to use at fair and competitive prices. We have a couple of visuals today. The first one here in front shows a new fuel system layout at our Mount Airy location. The ethanol blending dispenser is on the south end of the main fuel island. An example of that dispenser is in the second visual. As you can see, there are 4 products through 4 hoses on each side, and those products are E10, registered E15, E30, and E85. On the north end of the main fuel island will be the biodiesel blending dispenser, and that will offer 5 different biodiesel blends through 1 hose on each side, and those blends will be B5, B10, B15, B20, and B99. The center dispenser on the main fuel island will be ultra high speed, clear B5 biodiesel with a satellite to the east to fuel large trucks at the rate of 60 gallons per minute. And then across the parking lot to the west will be another dispenser that will offer dyed B5 biodiesel for the fueling of off-road equipment. The main fuel island will be covered by a canopy with highly efficient LED lighting, and all dispensers will be served by 5 underground storage tanks buried directly west of the main fuel island. Farmers Cooperative Company looks forward to working with the Iowa Department of Agriculture, the Iowa Renewable Fuels Infrastructure Board, the Federal Department of Transportation, and Iowa State University on this project. We are very excited to get the site operational and offer these great American-made fuels to the Reynolds County area. At this time, I would like to turn the podium over to Secretary Northey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor, for your leadership on this issue as well. I think it's very logical and very important that Iowa continue to lead on renewable fuels. We have from the beginning of the institution of ethanol and biodiesel, and this is a further step in there. This project will help answer some of those questions that are out there. How much additional blending will be used in both ethanol and biodiesel? What's the interest of the public? What are the infrastructure issues? Obviously, Iowa has benefited tremendously by the renewable fuels business in the state of Iowa. We have 42 ethanol plants in Iowa. We produce more ethanol than we use in gasoline. We produce about 25% of the country's ethanol. So any time that we can increase our blending rates here, we're able to use more Iowa products, able to import less from other states or other countries. Those 12 biodiesel plants as well, in the capacity of 315 million gallons of biodiesel processing capacity also feeds the country. And so being able to look at higher blends of biodiesel is very important as well. So it's important that we continue to support the industry at the state level. Certainly both biodiesel and ethanol have been challenged with some of the federal policies that are out there. Iowa continues to need to push on what we can do to increase adoption rates. And lastly, I'd like to thank as well the members of the Renewable Fuels Infrastructure Board for their hard work in addressing all the applications that came forward and being able to select these 2 projects that are out there. So I'll turn it back to the Governor.
Bill, thank you very much. And I can just say that how proud I am that Iowa continues to lead the way in renewable fuels and reducing our dependency on foreign oil. I think this is a demonstration of, and just like you said, the demand is there if we can just have these higher blends available for the consumers. And that's the message that we delivered to the EPA as to why we need to keep this robust renewable fuel standard and not see it reduced.